Thank you very much. It's an honor and a great pleasure for me to share a few ideas with you in this prestigious meeting. I'm afraid I will do it French way. As you know very well, France was once a time a non-aligned country, and this was the basis of a true friendship with India. And I will try to share with you some non-aligned ideas about the digital economy, about financialization, and at the end of my speech, of course, with the European condition at the moment. First of all, what are we speaking about at the moment? We are speaking about Meta. Meta is the name of a private company. And we are speaking about Metaverse. Metaverse is a global project from a private company to reshape the world. We are not speaking about products or services. We are speaking about far more than nations building or states building or other American fantasies. We are speaking about mind building. These private companies, the big techs, they want to reshape my mind, the minds of my children, of my grandchildren, and so on. And I will put very clearly the question: if our democracies don't take back control over big techs and technologies, big techs and technologies will have entire control on our lives, our minds, and our democracies. This is for me a main concern from the European Union and for so many countries all over the world. And I will say, when back to the European Parliament, that we have to take example from India. I read a little bit about what you call human-centric digitalization. For me, you are just right to the point. We are to build digitalization for the needs of human people. My second point will be quite different. We have to close the gap between finance valuations, growth, and progress. Let me have just this example. In the last 6 years, the gross product of Apple didn't grow, just a little. But the stock market value of Apple was 6 times higher. What about? Just because Apple gave back $330 billion to his shareholders by buybacks. One American friend of mine, Julius Quinn, wrote a very famous article about "We are creating value of nothing." This is a question I have to the unicorns. I am very proud in France. We have a lot of unicorns. And I read you will have at the end of 2022 more than 100 unicorns in India. But my question in France is, when I have a close look to the list of these unicorns, no one is building cars, no one is building water pipes, no one is building trains, and so on and so on. And what we need in our daily life are cars, are trains, are toilets, are clean water, safe air, and so on and so on. Just try to eat your smartphone, or just try to drink a flow of data. We have to close the gap between finance valuations and the products and services for the daily life. This is a major issue to correct the index and the calculations of the GDP and so on and so on. We have to close the gap between market valuations and the needs of the people for their daily life. They live in the real world, they don't live in the metaverse. My third point will be about what we call market economy. We have to rebuild markets as institutions, as social institutions for the good of the people. At the moment, the digitalization of our economy is creating at a fast pace monopolies. What about? Because the law of diminishing returns don't apply in the net economy. In the net economy, if you have 100 customers, you make more money than when you have 10 millions. And if you have 1 billion of customers, you make more money with each customer than with 100 billion. The law of the net economy is the creation of monopolies. And these monopolies, they are creating their own territories, their own laws, own norms. Nothing to see with democracies. Nothing to see with the daily needs of the people, and we have to break the monopolies of the digitalization of our economies and our societies. This is one of the biggest threats we are facing now. So this is to rebuild market as an institution. This is to rebuild market at the service of local communities and national communities. The way for the future will be the more competition inside our markets, but outside the border, protection, and the need to strategic independence. My fourth point will be about the breakup of global platforms. I read about the Iron Curtain made by Russia against massive American propaganda, same in China. But nowadays, it's all over the world. Any community in the world has a need to protect its identity. It has a need to protect themselves, their citizens, against foreign propaganda, foreign ideas, and fairy tales like the woke ideology, and so on and so on. So the future will be, at the end, not of global platforms, but on community-oriented platforms, both on a national side, both on a village and local side. This is the key to localism. Localism is the power coming from the society and the people and going up to the coordination of the national power. This is the key for the future, but this is the key for digitalization of the economy at the service of we the people. Let me, to the end of this speech, have a few words about Europe. European Union at the moment is not in a very good shape. We are across a major institutional crisis, but we are facing another crisis. I don't know for sure who will win the war in Ukraine, but for sure, European Union is a great loser. At the moment, we are totally at the hands of our American allies, and we are just a kind of subsidy of NATO. This is the end of any kind of sovereignty of European Union, and what is more important, this is the end of the strategic autonomy. The French President Emmanuel Macron emphasized, and I totally agree with him, we have to gain our strategic autonomy. But the war in Ukraine is putting an end, very brutal and very decisive, on this autonomy. And we are facing a major crisis about food prices, about energy prices, and so on and so on. And to say so, I'm not so confident the European way of life will keep it same and safe for the coming months and the coming years. At this point of my speech, let me have a few words about the conflict at the moment. I suppose Vladimir Putin was underestimated the national feeling of Western Ukraine, and he was also under-evaluated the will to our American and British allies to fight to the last Ukrainians. But I feel there are some other mistakes, and these ones are of very great concern for me. This is the weaponization of the US dollar and this is the weaponization of private assets. First of all, the US government seized US dollar assets of the Russian central bank. It is an unprecedented move. And if I were some of you in the central bank of the Ministry of Economy in India, I will ask myself, what will happen in the next future if we don't comply to the orders given unilaterally by our American allies? Will they seize all our US dollars assets? This is the same question I will ask about Russian oligarchs. Okay, they are oligarchs. But what the US and the British sold to the world was the rule of law, the sacredness of private contracts and individual rights. And all over the world, there are millions of people who found a safe haven in the US or in Britain because property rights were respected. When they seized assets from Russian oligarchs with no contradictory debate, no inquiry, and so on, they broke their own law. This is a major concern for the future, because what the rest of the world is facing is a lack of consistency on its own value by the West. This is the end of any kind of moral superiority from the West to the other side of the world, and it's of major consequences for the new paradigm of the world. This is the end of the real strategic superiority based on rule of law and the sacredness of private contracts. When they broke that, our American allies, maybe they didn't measure the immense consequences of this kind of action. This is just gangsterism on a worldwide scale. To the end, and very differently, I spent a lot of years as an advisor to a foreign government and foreign institutions in the great green island of Madagascar, East Island of Africa in the south. In Madagascar, I learned a lot, and I learned a word that is fiyavanana. Fiyavanana is a pleasure to be in a nice environment and safe environment with friends, sharing ideas, sharing good moments, and sharing, to put it simply, the pleasure to be between friends. Let me say at the end of my speech that looking so many friends in this meeting, looking and sharing so many ideas, I feel very deeply in my heart the truth of my Malagasy friends. Just a little bit of fiyavanana values far more than a lot of gold. Thank you very much.